I remember that day so well, walking into that clinic thinking to myself, I hate these places. We've seen so many children die so many times, and just to watch a mother literally looking at her child and a lifelessness in her eyes, a hopelessness because of the fact that her child has no life. Walking in that day, I remember walking up and finding Matthew. Not a child who was living, but really just a child that was literally waiting to die. I remember crouching down next to him and peeling back the blanket that was over him and finding the most horrific sight. I just wished to myself that I hadn't done it. Because as I peeled that blanket back, I could literally see the skin falling off of his body as the skin had died from the severe and chronic malnutrition that he had. This child literally was in the final stages of dying from malnutrition. Not because he had done something wrong, not because of a war or some man-made tragedy, but simply because of the fact that he didn't have enough food, he didn't have enough nutrition. And 9 months later, we went back to that same clinic, and we walked into that clinic with so many of those emotions and feelings flooding back. I sat down and they brought me a child, this healthy looking chubby child who didn't belong in this clinic, and came and sat him on my lap. I remember holding him and looking at this child, and they said to me, "Do you remember Matthew?" And I couldn't remember. I said, "Matthew who?" And they said, "Do you remember Matthew?" And they showed me a picture of Matthew the way he was when I last saw him. And yet the boy that I had on my lap that day was full of life. He was healthy. He was chubby. I remember walking around with him and just holding his hand as we walked along, and he would look at me, he would smile. We gave him some sweets, and I remember him eating that candy, and just kind of, this child had life. He was a normal young boy. And what struck me was the magnitude of what we do right here, of what each and every person who partners with us, who says, "I'll get engaged," of what they're achieving and what we're able to achieve because of their hearts. And that is the reality of what we do in these malnutrition clinics. It's the reality of what we do in our early childhood development programming. It's the reality of what we do by providing a bowl of food each and every day to hundreds of thousands of children on this continent. Please, I'm asking you to open your hearts and to say, yes, I'll do that. I'll be a part of that. I'll give that second chance. I will make the next Matthew story a reality.